Focus up.
Nexus FPV is a combat drone flight simulator developed by true players. The game puts you in control of combat drones, engaging in intense aerial missions. Every time you are defeated, you return to your base, but you gain new technology, skills, and power with each run. The game supports FPV controllers, mouse and keyboard, joysticks, and console controllers. It features challenging enemies and bosses, a wide range of customization options and weapons, diverse maps and biomes, and competitive leaderboards.
Use the terrain. Open seek will adapt, and so will you. This isn't a simulation. This is war. No second chances. No respawns. Just you and the machine. You ready? Then get in the air and show them what real skill looks like.
Beyond the Void is the latest update for the First Descendants' second season, introducing the Sigma Sector, a mysterious region engulfed by the Void Storm, where Descendants engage in intense battles to uncover its secrets. The official teaser trailer showcases familiar characters like Ajax, Lepic, and Glay, alongside new faces such as Serena and potentially Dia. The Scarlet Spoils Bundle is a recent addition to the game Delta Force, offering players exclusive Scarlet-themed appearances for their weapons. This bundle includes unique skins for the S12K, AS12, and AKM loadouts, allowing players to customize their arsenal with a striking red aesthetic.
It's been so long.
The Relic First Guardian is an upcoming action RPG. The story of the Relic takes place in the fantasy world of Arsiltis, a once thriving land that has fallen into darkness after the destruction of a powerful relic. The world has been consumed by chaos and turned into a dangerous, monster-filled place. The only way to save the land and seal the Rift of Darkness is by collecting the shattered pieces of the relic. You play as the last Guardian, the only one capable of finding the relic's fragments and changing the fate of Arsiltis. As an ancient Guardian, you must use your unique powers to explore a world full of secrets and challenges. Your main mission is not only to save Arsiltis, but to restore hope to the people and uncover the forgotten truths of the relics and ancient Guardians.
After all, you were the first Guardian.
Honestly.
The Altars is a science fiction survival game, developed and published by 11-Bit Studios. The story of the Altars takes place in a sci-fi world full of challenges. You play as Jan Dolsky, the sole survivor of an exploration team that crashed on a hostile planet. To survive, Jan uses a substance called rapidium to create alternate versions of himself, known as altars. Each altar has a unique personality based on pivotal life decisions Jan made in the past. Jan must use these altars to face the dangers of the planet, solve puzzles, and overcome various challenges. In this game, Jan's past decisions and their consequences play a significant role. Each altar may respond differently to problems, and you can utilize these altars to achieve different goals.
That's because Jan doesn't handle shit here! Okay, I've had it! Ah, crap! Heal Armageddon! This is your— Get off my back! Can't you see we're heading for disaster? I told you this was a bad idea! You have to save this base now! Screw this! I'm leaving! Oh, wait! There's a magnetic storm outside! Give us a thing! Come back here! What are you
Splitgate 2 is a free-to-play first-person shooter developed by 1,047 games. The story of Splitgate 2 takes place in a sci-fi world, where players take on the role of soldiers involved in an epic war between two factions, UNSC and Covenant forces. The conflict between these two opposing forces has become increasingly destructive, and the game focuses heavily on combat, portal mechanics, and player interactions. In Splitgate 2, portal technology allows players to move strategically around the battlefield, using different locations to shoot enemies and avoid incoming attacks. Since portals have become a complex and dangerous technology, some missions offer players the opportunity to uncover the hidden secrets behind this technology.
Man, I just got it. I'm the one that got the swag. I'm the one that
Sand is a survival shooter with PvPvE elements. Sand takes place in the distant future on a devastated planet called Sands of Velt. Once home to highly advanced civilizations, this world has mysteriously collapsed, leaving behind only ruins and valuable resources hidden within the harsh and unforgiving desert wastelands. You play as a trampler, venturing into this lawless world alongside other players and enemies, searching for resources, ancient technology, and lost treasures from the past. But you're not alone. Rival players and mysterious creatures lurking in the shadows are waiting for the perfect moment to eliminate you and steal everything you've gathered. Your main advantage is your giant mechanical walker, a massive machine that serves as both transportation and a mobile base in this ruthless land. Monster Hunter Wilds is an action RPG game. Monster Hunter Wilds takes players into a brand new, mysterious world filled with dynamic and living ecosystems, where changing weather conditions create unique challenges for hunters. The story revolves around a hunter and a child named Nada. Nada has fled his village after a massive, unknown monster attacked and destroyed everything. As a hunter, your mission is to protect this child while navigating a dangerous world filled with deadly creatures. Along the way, you will face the powerful Jindahad and a mysterious Rathalos, both of which pose significant threats. Throughout this journey, players must not only battle monsters, but also survive the wild landscapes, fierce storms, and even rival hunters. But
no, the White Wraith, it's real! You've got a weapon, and you do nothing?
Just watch. There's nothing to be afraid of.
I squirm, I struggle, ergo I am. Let's go.
Fragpunk is a fast-paced, competitive 5 versus 5 shooter where players use shard cards to change the rules of combat. Each round lasts about 2.5 minutes, and combat is quick and intense. With over 100 shard cards, players can alter gameplay by changing the properties of weapons, the environment, and even reviving teammates. Fable is a reboot of the iconic action RPG series, developed by Playground Games. The game is set in a rich fantasy world where players can engage in open-world exploration, combat, and story-driven adventures. It will be released for Xbox Series X/S and PC, utilizing the Forza Tech engine to deliver high-quality graphics and immersive gameplay. Extinction Rifts is an upcoming fast-paced first-person shooter developed and published by QU Byte Interactive. Unfortunately, there is no detailed information about the story of Extinction Rifts in available sources. However, based on the official trailer, it can be inferred that the game takes place in a post-apocalyptic world, where players must navigate through secret enemy headquarters and destroy ancient monoliths using a powerful gauntlet to save humanity from extinction.
My favorite.
Open fire!
Good boy.
Jump and run!
You're my little darling.
Avoid a dark future before it's too late.
Enginefall is a multiplayer sandbox game that combines dangerous combat, survival building, and long-term progression. Enginefall takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity is trapped aboard massive trains that endlessly travel through a desolate landscape. Players take on the role of a tailie, a low-ranking member of society, forced into eternal servitude. These trains, which are home to an entire society, are the last remnants of civilization. The goal of the game is for the player to rise through the ranks, using combat strategy and social manipulation. The ultimate goal is to become the conductor, who rules over the train and can determine the fate of the remaining survivors. Along the way, players will face rival trains, loot valuable resources, and build their own society.
Passengers, construct new carriages, and even wage war on other player-owned trains to loot them for everything they are worth. But beware, there's always a bigger train out there looking for prey. That is, if your own passengers don't take you down first. Remember, you can live amongst the filth, or you can get them to serve you, but you will always serve the train.
Gorn 2 is a virtual reality game developed by Free Lives as a sequel to the popular gladiator game Gorn. This game is bigger, more exciting, and more intense than the original, with new powerful weapons, dangerous traps, and power-ups that give players extraordinary abilities. Gorn 2 takes place in a fantasy world filled with violence, where players take on the role of a gladiator in a brutal, virtual reality combat environment. The story continues from the first game, but this time, you find yourself in the afterlife, where you must battle the sons of gods in mythical and heavenly locations. These areas are filled with traps, powerful enemies, and challenges that you must overcome to survive. Last Epoch is an action role-playing game. Last Epoch Season 2 continues the story of the Last Epoch universe, where players travel through different times, encountering various creatures, civilizations, and threats. In this season, you'll encounter a new faction called the Woven, who exist in dark and mysterious areas of the game. This faction possesses powers drawn from different times and places, and players must interact with them to stop new threats that have emerged from the past into the present world. In this season, Tombs of the Erased and Cemeteries of the Erased are introduced as new areas. These locations are tied to the past and ancient civilizations that have long been lost. Players will explore these areas to uncover the hidden secrets within them.
Enter the...
Moroi is an action-adventure game with a top-down perspective, blending hack-and-slash combat and adventure elements. Moroi takes place in a dark, mysterious world where players step into the shoes of a protagonist caught between a supernatural struggle. In this world, the protagonist faces off against terrifying beings known as Moroi, a type of vampire-like entity, in a fight for survival. As the protagonist explores this world, they will uncover hidden secrets about the origins of these dark creatures and their connection to the fabric of the universe itself. Along the way, the protagonist must solve challenging puzzles, make tough decisions, and engage in intense combat to unlock the mysteries surrounding the Moroi and their impending threat to humanity.
Will be purely improvisational, but if your plain sword is no longer effective, try equipping a set of teeth for added bite. Or imbue your machine gun with chunks of moon to add extra projectiles. Whatever path you follow, know that there are several ways that your wretched story might end.